The existence of COVID-19 has put a damp on other very common sicknesses like high blood pressure, which is known to many as the silent killer because people are generally unaware that they have it. So what are the risks associated with that, especially given the climate of the coronavirus?
And it appears that COVID-19 is not just affecting the lungs, it seems to affect the vascular system, and that's where hypertension affects the vascular system. And also, even if you don't get COVID-19 infection and you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, you expose yourself to risks of stroke, heart failure, heart attacks, kidney disease, and so on. Another problem is, given the fear of contracting COVID, people not coming to the doctors for follow-up of their high blood pressure, people not being screened for hypertension. And this is really, in Africa, the number one killer. 500,000 people die in sub-Saharan Africa of hypertension every year. And we think maybe, we don't know, but it seems the mortality in Africa from COVID-19 is quite low. So we need to balance the risk here. Clearly, COVID is a massive problem and not trying to underestimate it. But people still need to pay attention to their chronic diseases like hypertension.
The causes of hypertension include smoking, being obese or overweight, and stress, just to name a few. The professor offered some solutions.
They need to perhaps invest in home blood pressure monitors, monitor their blood pressure, report to the doctor, and if the blood pressure is uncontrolled, to work out the reasons for this and whether therapy needs to be increased or changed. 50% of people with high blood pressure don't know they have it. And if you're diagnosed, you need to start changing the way you live and living a healthy lifestyle. And we know all the things about healthy lifestyle. Stop smoking, trying to exercise more regularly, reducing your weight, cutting all the very fatty foods and the refined sugars, and reducing your alcohol intake. Those are really clear-cut things. And in most cases, people will need some form of treatment with high blood pressure pills.
Now, what better way to get rid of illnesses such as high blood pressure than through breaking a sweat and lifting some weights? Under level 2 of the national lockdown, gyms such as CrossFit are finally open to the public, and so naturally we came to see how they will be operating under current conditions.
For us to get back into the gym was quite important, just because we needed to get our members back to a support system and a structure and a place that brings them happiness, brings them peace, brings them the positive in their life, especially with what's been going on. They need that positive. So right from when you walk in the door, we've got forms that need to be filled out. We've got obviously temperatures are taken and stuff like that. We've got separate areas for each person to be working in, so that they're not mixing and they're not. We kind of force the social distancing to a certain degree. Each block has got their own spray bottle, sanitized station where they'll clean, and you'll see the members behind me will eventually, once they're done getting up, they'll start cleaning their own equipment. They place it back where it's supposed to be, as well as making sure that the place is well ventilated.
CrossFit has had to adjust and change certain training regimes in order to comply with the regulations.
We've had to change the way that we have done a lot of the workouts. Sometimes we do partner work, which is where you work with somebody on a bar and on the same equipment. We've had to stop that. Obviously, each person stays to their own equipment. In terms of being on a gymnastic rig, we've had to cut out that to a certain degree, just because we don't want people so close to each other. So until this thing calms down, we're going to have to keep those regulations in place. We're going to have to keep the distance between each other. We're going to have to make sure that we don't allow people too close to each other. And it's natural. It's habits. That members want to be on top of each other and close to each other. So we've got to watch that and make sure that they stay safe that way.
But what are the benefits of an exercise facility such as CrossFit? Here's why you should join.
It builds confidence. It teaches you to do things that you never thought you'd be able to do. Our theory here is better, and I don't expect you to come here and be an elite athlete. I expect you to come here and on a daily basis just make yourself just a little bit better.
It feels amazing. I feel like my strength is going to come back quickly. You just feel better as a person. You can face your day, all the stress and drama in general with lockdown. I think it's really going to help. The fact that after I started doing this, I could play with my kids, I could jump on the trampoline, I didn't get tired. My life in general, go on a hike and not huff and puff. It makes such a huge difference in your life.
Hi, I'm Mpho Pops Modikwani, and you're watching Joburg Today.